Yo, 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 what the fuck is up, guys? I know what you guys are probably thinking, whoa, Troy, you're uploading a video. I've missed you and your gigantonormous penis so much. And, yes, I am, as you are now watching. And, sorry, guys, I've been busy with school. I was kind of tweaked out on Elden Ring. It's currently hot as fuck in my room, so let's just break this down real quick. We're going to be ranking Elden Ring's bosses in a tier list from S to F. Normally I put the funny shit on it, but I feel like it's easier this way if I just leave it kind of standard. And let's just get right into it. Being probably the greatest Elden Ring player of all time, I'm pretty experienced in terms of all these bosses. So I feel like there's three main factors that are going to factor into this. It's going to be difficulty, obviously, like character design or like move set ability. That's like all into one category, and then three, I feel like is kind of like the cinematic epicness of it. For like the main story bosses and stuff like that. So without further ado, let's start with this fucking chode right here, God's Skin Apostle. Um, I'm gonna give Godskin Apostle a B. Um, he's not the most difficult. I feel like he's pretty easy to handle, actually, to be honest, in comparison to his fat boyfriend. He's definitely easier of the two. There's somewhat type of difficulty there. The music that when you're fighting him, I feel like is good. It's cool, really nice. But yeah, he's like in terms of difficulty, and his character design's cool. Using the black flame and all, but yeah, I don't find him the most challenging. Okay, shit tree fuckatar. He's going to D. I hate this fucking boss. Not only are they like, is there fucking a million of them throughout the fucking game, but in addition, it looks like someone fucked the top of his head. I mean, just look at that giant hole there. Like, damn, bro, going ham. But I mean, yeah, his moveset's just really annoying. He spams that fucking golden like orb move, and he's honestly just a dildo. I'm not a big fan of him. I actually dislike him a lot. All right, moving on. We have the double gargoyle boss. Okay. Um, let's see. I'm gonna put this C tier. I feel like when you first come into this area in is it Nokron? Or is that the other one? And then Sephora River. When you first come to there in Sephora River, you're like, oh my god, these bosses are so fucking hard. How will I ever do this? Ugh. But then you come back upgraded later. It's not as difficult. And I mean, I don't know. Duo boss fights just honestly kind of suck ass. It's not very fun. And the gargoyles in itself are kind of like fucking cheese masters. So yeah. All right, the next gargoyle. This is the Black Blade Kindred, I believe. I like the Black Blade Kindred. He's cool. He's kind of annoying in terms of like fucking how OP his shit is, since he does like the blood magic shit, and it like cuts down like half your health and shit, and you can't regenerate the full way. Kind of annoying. However, I do think his design is cool. He's definitely different from the gargoyles, like the normal ones, noticeably different. And when you go to fight him in the Forbidden Lands, I do think it's cool how he flies down and lands in front of you. So I think a B is fair for him. Elden Beast. All right. If you guys don't know, Elden Beast is the very final boss of the game. Uh, mm, okay. Even though it took me so many times to beat this boss because I fucking suck asshole, right? I do think at the least he's deserving of an A, because cinematic wise, fuck. Ah, I don't know if he's S tier. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave him an A. Okay, here's the reason. He's annoying as fuck, dude. The dude just spams moves like a fucking asshole. But he looks like super cool. He's like a giant squid ball sack and wiener or something. I don't know. But he's like translucent, and you're like in this whole new area, and there's like lights everywhere, and there's this like crazy music going on. So I feel like for the ambiance and stuff, he should be an A. Is he the hardest boss in the game? Probably not. He's just kind of a dick move spammer. But yeah, I feel like he should be A just because like the whole ambiance and everything. Okay, this is a Black Knife Assassin, but I don't know if it's a particular one. I think this is just all Black Knife Assassins in general. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say, uh, I'm gonna say C. I don't think they're that hard. Even the Electo ringleader one really isn't that hard. Once you like learn their moveset, it's rather easy to defeat them. They're cool, but it's really they kind of more strike me as like a generic like enemy than like a cool boss fight that you really enjoy. Obviously, there's the one in Atlas Plateau that's invisible, and that's kind of cool. Even though it's really annoying and fucky to deal with. But yeah, I'm gonna go C. He's not the coolest boss, and there's a bunch of them. Okay, yeah, this fucking piece of shit's going in F. I hate the birds in the game. The normal birds, Deathray birds, kind of suck, and they're not really that strong, and they look kind of stupid. But the Deathray birds are so fucking annoying. I fucking hate them so much. They're such a pain in the asshole to deal with. He just does that one slam move where like he shoots out ice nonstop, and it just really sucks balls. So yeah, no, fuck him. It's going in F. I would actually put him below F if I was able to, but we'll just keep him there for now because he's a piece of shit. Crucible Knight. Uh, Crucible Knight, I feel like should be. Actually, yeah, I feel like Crucible Knight's a B. I'm gonna put him at the end here. I feel like he's like the lower end of the B tier. Actually, I think he's. Fuck, I don't know actually. Okay, I'm putting the top B. Here, I'll explain why. He's like B plus. So, although there's multiple Crucible Knights in the game, and as you get better in the game, he's not like the hardest boss whatsoever. But dude, when I first started playing, he was like the hardest boss in the game. I'd already beat fucking Morgott. I already beat fucking Godric. I already beat like Renala and shit, and I still hadn't beat the original Crucible Knight, dude. He just has a certain like it's not his moveset or anything that's great, but he has like the perfect range to hit you while also not being able to get hit. And in addition to that, I feel like his design's pretty cool. Like I said, it sucks that he's so widely used throughout the game. I actually would prefer if there was like a single like Crucible Knight that you fought and it was just like kind of like beefier. However, like yeah, he's not the he's not the worst boss. I think higher B tier is fair. The Chrysalids, I'm gonna go F. Obviously above this piece of shit. They're just like a normal enemy once you get later on in the game, and then like they kind of suck. So the way they like fucking what's the word compensate for it is by making you fight more and more of them and bosses throughout the game. And let's like I don't know. I really don't think it's that great of a boss. And like I don't know if you guys know or not, but if you do standard damage to it enough, they start to like crack in half, and then once it happens, they're basically like super fucking weak. Um. All right, moving on here, we have the Erd Tree Burial Watchdog. I'm gonna put this in. Uh, I'm gonna put it in high D. So this boss is really easy. It's probably the first boss you fight if you don't fucking fight Tree Sentinel in the beginning. Um, I think the only reason I'm not putting an F because of its like easiness is because it is kind of cool. I do like the design of it. I thought at first it was really funny and goofy, but I feel like that adds to it in a certain way. So I feel like it should be in D. All right, so Dragon Lord, I feel like is going to be our first S, and here's why. In terms of difficulty, it is pretty hard. He looks like a fucking guy from Godzilla. I don't know if you've ever seen King Ghidorah, but that's essentially what he is. But I feel like he's pretty cool. I'm not gonna shit on him too hard. But yeah, like I don't. I just feel like he deserves S because one he is like pretty like challenging if you're not a fucking mage and do like a million damage Comet Azure. But like for me, I was a melee build the first time I fought him, and it was pretty like challenging. I had to do it at least like 30 or 40 tries, and his moveset is just really ridiculous. But I mean, the like pure scale and cinematic of the boss fight, you have to go down like all these runes, and then the runes like get fucking like undone because you find out that he's actually like the tornado, and he like comes out of like his like wings like he's like coming out of a shell and stuff. I feel like it's just really cool. I don't He's not going to be the like the top boss here by any means, but however, I do find him pretty sick, at least in terms of like cinematics. Okay, we got the Godskin duo, the Chodemeisters. Okay, so in terms of difficulty, they should be like S, right? I mean, this shit fucking. I haven't been able to beat these bosses without using Sleeping Pot once, so they're fucking strong. In terms of like fun, it should be a F because fuck these douchebags. But I think in actuality, I'm gonna put them in this kind of like C area because yeah, put it right there because I don't think they deserve to be lower than the like any of these other bosses because once again I said like in terms of difficulty, it's probably one of the hardest boss fights in the game. Um, However, like I don't. There's a certain like ambiance I guess you get when fighting both of them. Even though I said earlier duo fights suck, which they do. This duo fight's kind of different because I feel like it really challenges you. Not in like a bad way, I guess, but yeah, I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying. I feel like they should be C. Obviously, I fucking hate the fight, but in reality, it's a pretty good fight. I can't put it like lower than the other shitty bosses. Falling Star Beast, I'm gonna put at a low. Falling Star Beast, I'm gonna put at a low A. Okay, here's why. Although this isn't a unique boss, there's about 2 or 3 of them in the game. Um, it is kind of enjoyable to fight against. You can either use horseback or like non-horseback to fight them. It's pretty strong. It does relatively good damage. It has an easy to remember move set. However, its range and I feel like the way the boss looks itself is actually pretty cool. So I'm gonna put it in A personally. I kind of like the Falling Star Beast. It took me a lot of times to tries to beat the one in Atlas Plateau because I was kind of underleveled. But after I beat it, it felt really rewarding. And the boss fight like sucked because I kept dying, but it was fun in a way. So yeah. All right, moving on. We got Fire Giant. I'm gonna put Fire Giant in B. So I feel like a lot of people really like this boss, which is fair. It's one of the later game bosses. It's very really cool looking. The boss fight itself isn't actually that hard. He's just very tanky, and I feel like the coolness of the boss fight kind of gets lost in the fact that you're like staring at his feet and his legs the whole time, and you're basically just chopping his legs away to kill him. Which obviously like makes it not as fun. However, his second phase is a little more cool. Obviously, cinematic where he like, what is he? He like breaks his arm off or something, or no, he breaks his arm or his leg off or something. I think it's his leg. I don't fucking know. Yeah. It's his leg. He like twists his ankle and he like breaks his leg off and he like drinks the blood from it and then you see his like face pop out. So I think in terms of character design, he's pretty cool. In terms of the cinematics, pretty cool. But in terms of the actual boss fight and difficulty, it's not that cool, and it's kind of more just fast. He's like tanky than actually like fun. All right, so moving on here. I believe this is the first dragon you fight in the game, Flying Dragon Aguil, unless I'm completely wrong. Yeah, I think based on the area, that's what dragon this is. Um, I'm actually gonna unpopular opinion. I'm gonna go low A on this because not for in terms of difficulty or anything. He's actually a relatively pretty easy boss to beat. I feel like some people this is the first boss you beat, but I feel like it kind of sets the tone of like, oh shit, like this is real, because like you find him so early on, and I feel like you're kind of like, this is the first boss of the game. Like, what the fuck else am I gonna have to fight throughout the course of this game to like beat this? Like, this is fucking insane, you know? And I feel like that's pretty cool. I mean, at least that's kind of the experience I got when I fought him. So I'm gonna put him in A for that reason. Okay, so moving on. We have the Ice Dragon. I'm gonna put the Ice Dragon as a D. Well, I'll put it at the bottom end to see. I really didn't think the Ice Dragon was that cool. He's kind of annoying. I mean, I don't know. What else is there really to say? Yeah, I'm not the biggest, fucking, the Ice Dragon fan. He kind of sucks ass. Um, I guess the only real cool part I can think about is that you have to fight him to get through the area, and then your like screen gets all snowy, and you're like, oh, what the fuck? That's only the initial time. After that, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, it's the Ice Dragon. Oh shit, So yeah, I'm yeah, not the biggest fan of that one. Um, so we have the Golden Godfrey. Actually, hold on, because I feel like there's someone who's missing here. Uh, yeah, I don't see Malekith Blackblade in this list. I originally thought this list was good, but maybe I should use a different one. So I'm actually gonna use the Golden Godfrey in terms of Malekith Blackblade. Sorry, guys. So Malekith Blackblade, I feel like he should be an S, and I actually think he should be an S over Dragon Lord. So Malekith Blackblade is like the one of the last bosses you fight before going to Lanedale Ashen Capital. And he's really fucking strong, man. Like he whoops ass. He's the Beast Clergyman in the first form, in case you didn't know, and then after he turns into him. But he's just fucking super fast. He moves everywhere nonstop. He's really hard to deal with, and he's annoying as fuck. I actually haven't even been able to beat him in my second playthrough. It's like a dagger build. I still am kind of struggling with like trying to beat him. In that playthrough at least. But yeah, he's really strong, but not like oh, this is so unfair, this is bullshit strong. More like this is really hard. Once I beat him, it'll feel really rewarding. I feel like the fact he has two completely separate phases and they're basically two different characters is really cool. And I feel like both of the character designs and the appearance in both look pretty cool. Actually, here, let me just pull up a picture so you guys can see if you haven't played the game. No, guys, don't look at my porn. Okay, yeah, this is the picture of the boss, in case you guys haven't seen it yet. I don't know why you would be seeing it now, but yeah, this is Malekith Blackblade. Pretty cool. Alright, anyway, moving on. Sorry, a little bit of a detour there. So this is Godric the Grafted. I'm gonna put Godric the Grafted in C tier. Actually, hold on, let me think. Okay, yeah, I changed my mind. I'm actually putting him at the top of B tier. In terms of difficulty, he's like a D or an F. Okay, that's originally I was going to put him in C tier. However, the cinematic is really cool, and I feel like he is a good, like, first main boss. Once again, not in terms of difficulty. Let me adjust my mic real quick. Sorry, guys. Not in terms of difficulty, and I feel like you'll quickly come to realize that as the other bosses you fight after are progressively more hard. Some people struggle with him pretty early on. However, I feel like the animation and cinematic of him is so cool. It makes up for the fact that he's not that difficult, in my opinion. Like the fact he cuts his arm off mid-phase and then puts the dragon on, and then his second phase is like all flame-based, and he has like a giant dragon arm, which you can get after you beat him. That's pretty dope. So I feel like that should make him B tier alone, even though he's not the most difficult boss in the game, or enjoyable, I guess. Okay, Godfrey Horolu. I'm gonna put him at a. I'm trying to think. I'm gonna put him above Malekith Blackblade. Okay, so difficulty wise, he's somewhat challenging, not the most challenging. However, the moves he does are really cool, especially in the second phase when he just turns into Godfrey, like Warrior Horolu or the fuck it is. Like he like grabs you and does like a giant spine buster. He does like moves that like make like earthquake and makes like fucking volcanoes come up and fucking hit you. If you can stay ranged, he's not as difficult. But then like in his first phase, he has the giant lion. I forgot what it's called, and then he rips its heads off and kills it, and he's like crying. He's like, oh, I feel so bad, but like I'll be stronger if I like rip this off or whatever. Or, like, I don't fucking know. There's a whole backstory lore to it. I'm not fucking Elden Ring lore guy by any means, but I do feel like he's really cool. Um, okay, now we're going on to Loreta Royal Knight, I believe. Let me make sure. Yes, that's who that is. Okay, so Loreta Royal Knight. Okay, let me see. Uh, I'm gonna go late B tier. Okay, no. I'm not basing this off the one in Halagatry, Halgultree or whatever. However the fuck you say it, it's the place where fucking the bitch is. We all know who I'm talking about. Um, because I feel like it's a really cool boss when you go to fight in the Rhea Lucaria Academy, because you know that area is all magic based and stuff. It's kind of like Tree Sentinel, but like magic Tree Sentinel. So you know, like if you get what I'm trying to say. And I don't know. I just feel like the boss fight's kind of cool. You're like in like a pool, kind of, and there's like all these chairs, and it kind of has like a cool epic like cutscene type boss vibe to it. Excuse me, move my mic again here so you guys hear me better. Without actually being a cutscene like main storyline boss. So I feel like that should make it like at the end of B tier. Actually, I think she's better than both of these bosses. I think she's better than Godskin Apostle and Blackblade Kindred. But yeah, I think she's pretty cool stylistic wise and design wise. Magma Worm. Magma Worm I am gonna put here. Actually, you know what? The more I think about it, I'm moving the dragon here. He kind of sucks ass. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna put him at the end of C tier. Megaworms, okay, he's not really hard. He's pretty easily like beatable. He's a giant dragon, but like not a stereotypical dragon. He like crawls on the ground, does like a fire move. His second phase is kind of cool. He stands up and like does a giant like fire dragon. Maybe I'm biased, but I feel like he shouldn't be in D just because I kind of actually enjoy fighting him. It's not really much like oh god, here's a magma worm. Oh, this is gonna be so fucking great type thing. Uh, but yeah, I think he should be there. Oh god, it's her herself, fucking Michaela, Millennia, whatever. I fucking not a big fan of this boss. I'm tempted to put her in C tier, but considering she's so strong, I feel like everyone would cut my balls off. I'm gonna put her right here. So her second phase is pretty cool. How she comes out and turns into like a giant flower, and she's like the queen of rot or whatever. However, fighting her isn't very enjoyable. It's not like a fight where like I described the others, where you feel like rewarded after beating her, and you're like, man, that was like a good fight. Fuck yeah, type thing. It's more like, finally I killed this stupid bitch. I actually beat all the bosses in the game. Thank God. Because if you guys don't know, she has the ability where she hits you, and every time she lands a hit, she regens health. It's more of like a gimmick than an actual like, oh, that's such a cool special ability type thing. So like, yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of her. She kind of sucks. All right, moving on. So there's two Morgots, in case you didn't know. This is the first one, Morgot, I believe. I I'm not sure, dude. They have like it's like Margit and Morgot. You know, it's fucking. So I think he's a really cool starting boss, and I'm actually gonna put him at um uh okay. I'm gonna put him at low A. This is the first one, by the way. I'm basing off of. Okay, fucker. If you could, sorry guys, I'm having some technical difficulties here. Hold on, if I could get him. Okay, you guys know where I'm fucking. Yeah, thank you, God. Anyway, I think he should be low A because I feel like he's difficult. I'd say some people actually say he's harder than Godric, which I could see. I feel like Godric is harder. However, he's a main storyline boss, the first one you fight, so he should be harder. I don't really think it should be like a big difference in I think excuse me. I think there should be a difference in difficulty, or else it'd be kind of weird. But I have heard a lot of people saying that I guess a lot of people quit after Margot or whatever because of his difficulty. I personally don't see that, but I think his moveset's cool. I think his whole cutscene where he's like standing on the tower and he's like, "Hey yo, what the fuck you doing, my guy? Who you think you are, pulling up to the castle trying to get a rune?" And then he jumps down and he's like, "I'm about to beat that ass, pussy. What's good?" You know, I feel like that's pretty cool, and I feel like character wise he looks cool. I really feel like the only thing that kind of takes away from his character is the fact that you do see him later on. So with that being said, I'm actually gonna put the real Morgot, whatever which one it is. I'm gonna put him at B plus compared to the other one A minus. So the second one is obviously harder. The second one I feel like has a little bit of cooler cinematic, but the fact that you fought him earlier on in the game kind of takes away. But at the same time, he should be at the higher end of B. Actually, I'm gonna put him behind Godric, but ahead of the Fire Giant because his cinematic is cooler than the Fire Giants. Actually, I don't know. They're all cool. Elden Ring's a fucking great game. What do you want me to say? Played through it like 4 times already, and I don't do that with any of my fucking games. But anyway, like his moveset's harder, and the second time you fight him, he has cooler moves. He has the curved sword that does like the crazy like fire thing, and it also does blood damage. And then I do like his move where you can see right here, where he like throws all of the light swords up in the air and they come down. And it's somewhat difficult. I've seen a lot of people struggle with it. Me personally, I've beat him like in my first couple tries with all the playthroughs I've done. I don't find him that difficult, but that's just me. But yeah, you know, I think he's appropriately placed right there. Okay, Knights Cavalry, I'm gonna put at Knights Cavalry. I'm gonna put right here. He's above Erdtree Avatar, but he's not that cool. I feel like in terms of character design, he looks cool. However, there's so many of them throughout the game. The nighttime thing is really annoying. I'm not a big fan of the nighttime bosses, which this little fuck down here happens to be one. Bell-bearing Hunter is also a nighttime boss, but I do not see him in the bosses here. My bad. I should have noticed that. However, I do think he's pretty cool. Oh god, I just noticed a major boss is missing from this list. So because of that, we're actually gonna use the Rune Bear as it, and I'm gonna say who it is right now. Let me show you who it is before I do that. So the boss I'm talking about, of course, is probably the coolest boss in the entire game. A lot of people say that. This is Radon right here. Go through. Make sure I'm not like clicking on like Radon porn or something. Let's not do that. But yeah, he's the guy you've seen in the cutscene of the game, like before it started, where he's fighting this fucking stinky bitch. But yeah, here, let me see if I can find a picture of him on his horse. I don't see any here. So I guess if you guys don't know, whoa, what? Yeah, hold on. Okay, here we go. What? Okay, I don't see many. Okay, that's weird. I don't know. I can't fucking find it for some reason. Red guy, nice dude. So he's yeah. Once again, this is gonna be Radon. This is actually a grafted Scion, but whatever. So Radon is part of the coolest boss in the game. He's about the third main story boss you fight. He uses gravity. He's so strong that it is recommended that you use like fucking 20 summons while you're fighting him. He has a bunch of different attacks. The start of his second phase, he jumps out of the sky as a giant fucking comet and tries to land on your fucking head. He's really strong in terms of the damage he does. Health-wise, he's above average, I guess, for where you'd fight him. But in terms of all the bosses in the game, he actually doesn't have the highest health. However, I just feel like character design-wise, he's really cool. I think his cinematic is, me personally, like, is my favorite cinematic in the game. How he's like riding on the horse and they're giving the whole backstory about how Michaela, whatever, gave him rot, and like he has to fucking eat the carcasses of his friends and stuff to like stay alive, and then he does like a giant roar. You're fighting him in the middle of the desert. Everything about this boss is fucking awesome. I think he's the best boss in the game. He's S plus tier. He'd be up here if I could do it. And sorry, there's not an actual picture of it. That's my bad. I should have looked beforehand. So we got the fat ass here. I'm gonna put him at this spot. Uh, I would consider putting him in A tier. However, you fight him multiple times in the game. It's the same with the skinny Godskin Apostle. Um, the original fight where you fight him in fucking Volcano Manor in the church, I feel like it's pretty cool. He's funny looking. The fact he's like a giant fat guy and all his like moves revolve around him being fat. He does the rolly one that like no one knows how to dodge. By the way, you roll through him. Fucking genius strat, I know. But yeah, and then he does the moves where he like gets all fat and he tries to jump on you, and then obviously he does the everyone's favorite, the fucking black flame toss. I think is what it's called. Whatever, it's black. It's a ball of black flame and he throws it. So hey, there you go. There's a fucking name for it now. Um, but yeah, like I said, he's pretty cool. He's definitely difficult. His little fucking stupid like jumpy try to spike you move with his like little fencing thing is kind of annoying. However, I don't know. I just think he's a decent boss. He was fun to fight the first time until you had to fight him in this shit, which fucking sucked asshole. And actually, now that I think about it, it's a duo boss. He can be above them. All right. So we got Renala, Queen of the Moon here. I'm gonna put Renala. Uh, I'm actually okay. Unpopular opinion. I'm gonna put Renala A minus. So she is one of the easier boss fights in the game. To be honest, uh, I don't really feel like she's annoying. I feel like all her moves are kind of fair, especially considering she's like one of the only mage bosses you fight the entire game. Um, I mean I know like magic people really hate her because she's super strong against any type of magic. But I mean, if she's really the fucking queen of the moon and she's like the best like mage person in the game, feels pretty appropriate. I feel like her whole area is cool. It's cool how you go to like the moon thingy. Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I think that she should be like. I'm gonna put her here. You know, I know maybe that's high, and some other people don't think she should be up that high. I don't think people kind of give her much appreciation as you should because she's not that hard. However, depending on your play style, and I think what level you fight her, she actually can be difficult. And I think her cinematics are really cool. I actually now that I'm thinking about it, because her first phase is really easy, right? I mean, her first phase is really easy. However, it's kind of a cool fit. Okay, I'm gonna do some adjusting here. I actually think Morgoth River should be here, and I think she should be behind him. But I also think she should be in front of these two. Um, but yeah, that's all I have to say. I don't know. I think she's a cool boss. Okay, I hate this fucker so much because of his AOE attacks. However, like cinematic wise and style wise, I do think he should beat S. Ragadon or Radagon. Yeah, Radagon. The fucking Elden Cuck, whatever. Radagon of the Golden Order, I think it is. Um, he's pretty strong. And I feel like it would have actually been better if you had flipped Elden Beast to him that way. Because not only do I feel like, is he arguably harder than the Elden Beast? I feel like they're about the same in terms of difficulty. However, I feel like I had to get way more comfortable with his moveset before I got comfortable with the Elden Beast moveset, especially because of all the fucking AoE attacks he does. But yeah, you know, I think he's a pretty cool boss, and I think stylistic wise he's cool. His whole holy damage thing makes sense if he's part of the Golden Order. But yeah, Rune Bear OP dude, S tier. Yeah, I don't know why this is here. They should have put a fucking different boss instead of the Rune Bear. There's definitely other bosses that deserve to be here. Tibia Mariner OP, strongest boss in the game. He's S. No, I'm kidding. Obviously, he fucking sucks. I mean, I don't know. He's kind of funny because I would like to put him. Yeah, now he's got to be F, but I think he's better than both of these bosses. So if you guys don't know, Tibia Mariner is essentially like the fucking easiest boss in the entire game. There's multiple of them. what he does, he paddles around in a boat in any type of like small river location there is, and he doesn't really do anything. He barely fights you back. His main attack is that he splashes water on you, and then he kind of hopes that the other skeletons in the area will kill you. His health is relatively pretty low, and he doesn't really give you that great of items for beating him. He just gives you some skeletal summons. But yeah, no. I like the Mariner. He's cool. He's a funny guy, but yeah, no, he kind of sucks ass. All right. So, uh ulcerated tree spirit. I'm going to put ulcerated tree spirit in I'm gonna put it here. I don't think the boss that bad is that difficult. It's actually really easy. The only move he can really like damage you with is the one where he grabs you. But as long as you dodge the grab, he's pretty easy to beat. He has a decent amount of health. However, actually, I'm moving. Or I fucking hate that freezing dragon. Now that I think about it, I really don't like that boss. It's not that cool, and it's kind of annoying more than it is challenging. Um, but we're talking about the fucking tree spirit here. The illustrated tree spirit. Yeah, I don't know. He's just kind of forgettable boss. He's not one that you like really like. There's a bunch of them throughout the game. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of all I have to say. The Red Wolf of Ragadon. Yeah, the Red Wolf of Ragadon. I think this is his pet or whatever, because I'm pretty sure that's Radagon. Um, I am gonna put him. I'm gonna put him at the end of B tier. I feel like he would be a really cool boss. However, he doesn't have that much health. His move set isn't the craziest. It's pretty simple, but it's also very effective because the damage he does is like crazy. He has crazy damage output. But like I said, he's really weak. But the concept of like a giant like wolf that has like a flame sword and can do spells is pretty sick. Uh, what I would have preferred rather than you fighting like two or because there's two or three of them in the game. What I would have preferred is if you actually fought him later on in the game, and he was kind of like a shard boss, similar to like how the Dragon Lord is and stuff, like where you don't have to fight him. He's like you get off the broken path. Maybe like you could like you have to go to this like fucking area where you have to like kill a bunch of these wolves, and then once you get past there's like an item, and then like as you're about to like go up to the item to grab it, he like jumps off of a cliff in front of you and like howls, and then you like fight him while you have to fight other wolves. I feel like that would have made it like way cooler, rather than he's just like randomly in the Rhea Lucaria area. But I think the boss design itself is pretty cool, and I think he would have been better if he got like buffed and had more health, and did the same amount of damage. So there's actually some other bosses who aren't in here that I feel like should be. One of them being the boy tree sentinel, the boss everyone gets wrecked at by the beginning. There's a Draconic Tree Sentinel version, but I don't know. You fight him like a couple times after the original boss fight. So I'm actually going to substitute the bear for Tree Sentinel. If you guys don't know what Tree Sentinel looks like, he looks like this. Like I said, I feel like a lot of people are familiar with him. Whoa, what the fuck? Hold on. Alright. He's probably the reason a lot of people quit Elden Ring at the beginning, because it's the first boss you see, and if you're not good at the game, you will most likely not be able to beat him unless you go around and fight him later. There's actually a boss fight later on, which I really fucking hated initially, but now I actually kind of like, since I know how to beat it and fight them, where you fight two Tree Sentinels, which is really ass. But I actually like Tree Sentinel, you know? Is he a douche? Yes. Is he cool, however? Yes. I'm gonna put him above this stinky bitch in about the middle of B tier. Even with having to have like a duo Tree Sentinel fight, I do find it kind of enjoying. He's not a boss that I hate fighting. He's a boss that I'm actually like, Oh shit! All right, let's go, bitch. Let's get busy. And I think I'd probably put the Draconic Tree Sentinel, even though he looks cooler and the horse spits out fireballs and he does the electric move. Um, I think the fact he's a normal like mini boss when you're going to fight Malekith Blackblade actually makes him less cool. So I actually feel like he should be right there. I would put him probably right next to normal Tree Sentinel, to be honest. Maybe I'd put him like a position above behind Fire Giant. But yeah, like I said, there's some other bosses that you find throughout the game. I don't think any other main story bosses are missing. If they are, I'm really sorry. I can't think of any off the top of my head looking at this. I'm pretty sure that's all of them. I should have tried to find a better list, but this, from my initial looks at all the list, was the best one. It was like short, but I also felt like pretty accurate. But I guess now I'm looking at it, it was missing a couple key bosses. So yeah, just for reference, before you exit out the video, this is supposed to substitute for Radon. This is supposed to be a substitute for fucking Malekith Blackblade. Neither of these bosses are that important, by the way. This is literally a golden version of him. So, like I said, and then this is like the first boss you like fight, but it's not even like really a boss, to be honest. And then yeah, the fucking Rune Bear that's here for whatever reason. He's a substitute for Tree Sentinel. But I think other than that, this is a pretty accurate and decent list. And yeah, you guys can feel free to leave in the comments down below. What's the boss you hate most in Elden Ring? Your favorite boss to fight? And where you would rank or tier these particular bosses. But yeah, that's my list, and I feel like it's pretty accurate, to be honest. And just as a reference, anything below B are bosses I fucking hate and really find annoying for the most part, except for maybe Black Knife Assassin because he's pretty cool. But yeah, that's it. I know I haven't recorded in a long time. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's hot as balls in my room right now. It's summertime, and I'm